Representative Nancy Mace eviscerates Biden-McCarthy debt ceiling deal. Let's dive into the details, shall we? Representative Nancy Mace, Republican from South Carolina, eviscerated the debt ceiling deal between Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy, Republican from California, and Joe Biden in a Twitter thread posted Tuesday morning in which she announced she would be voting no on the deal. After a detailed takedown of the bill, Mace observed 63% of Americans want Congress to cut spending as part of a debt ceiling deal. This bill does not do that. Unacceptable. The Biden-McCarthy agreement is not holding up under scrutiny and is being seen by conservative lawmakers in both houses of Congress as a cave by McCarthy. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Let's read the whole thread, shall we? Mace. Washington is broken. Republicans got outsmarted by a president who can't find his pants. I'm voting no on the debt ceiling debacle, because playing the DC game isn't worth selling out our kids and grandkids. Let's dive into the bill. This deal normalizes record high spending started during the pandemic. It sets these historically high spending levels as the baseline for all future spending. The bill then grows government even more each year at about 1%. Outrageous. After factoring in a small cut to discretionary spending over the next 2 years, we are still talking about $6 trillion more or less in spending because of large increases in spending elsewhere. In other words, it's a wash spending-wise. Government grew massively over the past 3 years. This growth was supposed to be emergency funding only during COVID. During this time, government grew 40% or by $2 trillion from 2019 to 2023. We went from spending just over $4 trillion to spending just over $6 trillion. This deal keeps that record high spending intact and makes it the baseline for all spending. Wild. This bill doesn't actually set a debt limit. Rather, it suspends the debt limit entirely until January 2nd, 2025, and there's no actual amount capping the debt ceiling. Some say there will be a $2 trillion deficit in 6 years, but that CBO guesstimate relies on spending caps that do not exist and are not binding in any way in this deal. And only in D.C. is a bill clawing back small amounts of unspent COVID funds considered a cut. They tell us this bill cuts $41 billion in its first year, about the same amount as the unspent COVID funds. Pretty convenient. Also, not a cut. And on that note, do we really think the states will send back unspent COVID funds, or will they find a way to use the money so they don't have to send it back? Pay as you go has some fine print under Section 265 everyone should read. The CMB director has sole waiver authority to spend if it's necessary for program delivery. So that one line wipes out pay-go. These words on paper are totally meaningless if you read the fine print. A $4.1 billion cut to the IRS doesn't equal $80 billion in cuts to the IRS. Nor does it mean we are gutting the IRS or its 87,000 new hires. Allegedly, there will be $10 billion cut off top for 2024 during the appropriations process, but it's also not in the bill. That money can be cut anywhere the IRS decides. Work requirements for SNAP moved from age 50 to 54, and student loan forgiveness EO repeal never happened. Not sure why anyone even bothered here. Manchin's carve-out for his pipeline is not germane to the bill. This is just your run-of-the-mill government picking winners and losers in the market and business as usual in Washington. A continuing resolution at 99% in Section 102 only applies to discretionary and provides ample time for an omnibus should all else fail. While we like the intent here, it's like a penny planned for discretionary, but once again, because of how it's written, it's meaningless. fully funds every spending request by the administration, pretty much. And just a friendly reminder, debt ceilings are about future outlays, about future spending, and how it will be financed. It's not about past spending or past obligations from one administration to another. Let that sink in. 63% of Americans want Congress to cut spending as part of a debt ceiling deal. This bill doesn't do that. Unacceptable. Washington is, was, and always will be lousy at responsibly spending tax dollars. That won't change unless we demand change. Running tally of no Republicans by DC Examiner's Cami Mondux, which is sitting at 18. Let's read them off real quick. Chip Roy from Texas, Andy Briggs from Arizona, Andrew Clyde from Georgia, Lauren Boebert from Colorado, Bob Good from Washington, Ralph Norman from South Carolina, Dan Bishop from North Carolina, Ken Buck from Colorado, Matt Rosendale from Montana, Brian Donalds from Florida, Ellie Crane from Arizona, Keith Self from Texas, Nancy Mace from South Carolina, Wes Hunt from Texas, Corey Mills from Florida, Matt Anna Polina Luna from Florida, and Mary Miller from Illinois. And likely knows but are undecided are another three: Tim Burchett from Tennessee, Victoria Spartz from Indiana, and then a Democrat coming in, Raul Brijova, Democrat from Arizona. I love this. I was so pessimistic yesterday. I was like, there's only 8 Republicans not wanting to do this, but now we're up to 18 and possibly 21. This bill is a mess. There's no limit. There's no limit on the full debt ceiling. It's unlimited, like Mace was saying. I haven't heard of Nancy Mace before this, but yeah, that's really impressive. She laid all of this out for the people to read, and yeah, that's awesome. We need to spread the word on this because the mainstream media is going about like, oh, this is what's in it, this is what isn't, and it's basically like she's saying, it's some of this stuff is meaningless. It's written in there, but then you read the fine print, it's not really in there. It doesn't mean anything. So yeah, got to spread the word on this. But that's just my opinion. What is your opinion on this story? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for daily news updates, hit that notification bell, and share this video to spread the news. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.